Hello, SpeedGaming. Good morning. Welcome to the No Logic Summer 2024 tournament. It's the first week of the tournament, and this is really exciting. My name is JD Silvergun, and I'm joined by Tam. Hello, Tam.
Hey there. Yeah, absolutely. We've just started this tournament, but we've already had some super fun races, so hoping today delivers as well. We should be starting very shortly, so we'll get right into it.
Yes, the red versus bread.
Yes, exactly. Sync start now. There's sort of an endless number of things you can do at the beginning of a no logic seed, so it's usually very interesting to see how people split up and converge later on.
Yes,
But for
that
now, it
is
seems we
the
have pretty normal openings.
Just going to say that's the great thing about this mode is that you pretty much can go anywhere. I mean, that doesn't always mean you should go anywhere, but we certainly aren't limited on options. Already
Yeah,
divergence. The DMA from bread, and red is going to check the north area, probably lumberjack and the lost woods.
Yeah, one of the things about having access to glitches is that your options at any given point are sort of much greater than normal. Even from the very beginning, we can do so much of the game that you really can see people go wherever they want from the very first minute. Did not quite see what was on Lumberjack there.
I did not see it either.
Obviously, everyone kind of hopes it's nothing important.
I mean, there are a few cases where you might want to get that item, but very rarely.
Yeah, it would take a very, very important item to be there. There's not many items that we hard require to beat a no logic seed, so pretty much as long as it's not one of the fire rod and the ice rod, we can skip it. And even there's two of each, the fire rod and the ice rod, in the item pool, so even if it is a rod on lumberjack, we can hope to get lucky and find the other one. And what breadkun has been doing is sort of something that most people will do at some point early on. Rescue the old man and then clip to graveyard ledge, because the old man save and quit point is very useful. We want to save and quit to the mountain a lot. And graveyard ledge gives us bombs. And so additionally we get free land from having clipped down the mountain. So this is very useful. It gives us a lot of resources.
Some
Whereas
interesting rupee routing from breadkun.
yeah, the right side first. We see RedKitsune and Kakariko. Many people like to put this off because there's a number of things you can find to make Kakariko and some of the surrounding checks better, but it is still a lot of checks, so never a bad choice.
Yeah, I think not even having the 100 rupees for the bottle vendor is a little bit soon, but we'll see if that gets left behind or not.
Yeah.
First bottle in the well. Bottles are very important for glitches.
Definitely
Very
bottles are
small.
some of the best glitching items.
Parasmall and a mushroom. I hope for our
Mushroom?
runner's sake that the mushroom is not an important item, because that's
Yeah,
always
we
fortunate.
we have some fringe use cases for the mushroom, but we definitely prefer to find better ways to do what the mushroom can do. If we're lucky, we'll get to talk about some of these crazy glitches, but for now, we're kind of a long way away from doing many of the interesting glitches because we need a lot of items to do those.
That's interesting that he chose to go downstairs and like farm the rupees for the bottle vendor.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ooh.
going up and down stairs is 14 seconds, just in case anyone is curious. I've timed it because there's a mistake you can do in the vanilla speedrun where you accidentally go up the stairs. So, just a little interesting fact for you.
Yeah, meanwhile, we've been finding a lot of interesting things here. We get some crazy stuff in Kakariko. And meanwhile, breadkun has found the hook shot. So this could become fun very quickly.
Two
Oh my
swords in
goodness.
town, that's unprecedented. I haven't seen that in a long time. And another bottle in the library. Oh, is this going to be a silly jet seed? I wonder. That was the fire rod in the tavern, not the ice rod, right? The ether on the race game for RedKitsune. The breadkun optimizing movement with the hook shot. The bombs on the crabs is really good. The bomb management is a lot tighter in glitched rando than in non-glitched. So we always like to see easy free sources of bombs. You're in desert. Wow. There's so many good items early. Oh, it was the ice rod, not the fire rod. Thank you for telling me. Right, so we would have liked to see the fire rod, but the ice rod might be important. Just depends if Turtle Rock is a crystal or not. But these seeds are rolled with key sanity, so we do not know from the start what the prizes of the dungeons are. So Red's setting up a quadrant glitch to access the right side of desert. Without using a key, that is. Art piece. And bombs. Well, the mirror was still a great find. The desert super speed. I'm not sure if it saves time without the hook shot, but it still looks cool running across the screen like that. Everything okay there, Tam? I may have lost my co-comm and tracker, I hope not.
Wow, sorry about that. I had some brief internet outage.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Well, hopefully
I'll do
just a
what I can
momentary
to
issue.
update the trackers, yeah.
Yeah, so we got the mirror in desert and ether on the race game on Red's side. Second bottle, yes.
Looks like breadkun has been more or less following in Red's footsteps.
Yes. So it also has the ice rod, the two swords, and the two bottles. And now Red is rescuing the old man, which is very riveting without the lamp, I know.
Yes. Hopefully we're caught up now. Apologies again.
I think so, yeah. I didn't get a chance to really talk much about these runners, but RedKitsune was shown in last tournament to be quite the hoverer. We'll have to
Yes.
see if he's still in practice with that. And
Yes, that is
just all
true.
around a good player and likes to hook push, which most people do. And Bread is just a very good randomizer player in general and plays a lot of different randomizers and um, a very strong link to the past player in general. Plays cross keys and a lot of other modes very well as this one.
Yeah, I believe both of them participated in the last No Logic tournament and did fairly well. I do remember RedKitsune having some interesting hover seeds, so we may get some hovering out of him.
Ah, there's some nice... And doing the hover back, too, in Spec
Yeah.
Rock. To get
Oh
the...
no,
Oh, drops it.
this
Well,
is not too bad.
we'll see if the... Well, with that Thieves Town big key, probably looking to turn this into a pod play.
Yeah, maybe.
I mean, well, Red, having more money before going to town, was able to buy a potion and use it to go to Thieves Town from Desert.
Yes, we could have done this with a Mirador, but it would have taken longer.
I hate that mirror door. It is
Yes.
so slow. Like, I
It
feel
is
like
very
it's
slow.
faster to just do Thieves Town like vanilla. Like,
Yeah, usually Miradors are more reserved for last case scenarios because they do take a very, very long time. Particularly this one.
yeah, the one to get to the boss of Desert is a lot quicker because it just depends where on the underworld map you are.
Yeah. Has to do somewhat with your coordinates. But yeah, we see Red Kitsune, East Death Mountain. There's a lot of items over here. This is another place that most people will end up at sooner or later.
It's interesting that he decided to do this and not the pod play. I mean, I always would think that people that could hover like somewhat reliably or better would like to, because in No Logic, pod connects to Hookshot Cave with the glitches that we are allowed to use. There's a couple different ways that aren't terribly difficult to, just connect those two places. But yeah, I mean, this is a good play too. A very dense area.
Yeah, it could be that he's just waiting for wait until he has a potion, or maybe something to help with doing Easton at the same time.
Yeah, that's a really good point with the mirror.
So
Yeah,
now
with the
that,
mirror, that hookshot cave play becomes less, a little bit less of a, I don't know if it's less of a priority, but you have more options.
hmm,
I guess you would do Eastern before you go to hookshot cave if that were the case.
this hammer,
Hammer.
it's pretty helpful. Not so much for doing glitches, but we'll take it for killing things and accessing places.
Yeah, it just so happens that the items that are locked by the hammer are like we can get them without the hammer, but there's some of the most annoying locations to like
Yeah,
kind of cheat.
definitely.
And it is a strong weapon too. Does a lot of damage.
It is nice for these runners that we had some free swords, because if you watch one of the races today, the swords do not always come easily, and we do need them to beat the king. We kind of need them to do a lot of glitches as well. It's kind of really painful to go without a sword, so having two this early on is a very nice convenience.
Oh yeah, this is barring a like fire rod hunt for Trinex, this is going to be a pretty quick seed. It's looking like. I mean, I could eat my words later, but yeah, having a
Yeah,
sword, the Master Sword and one of the fire sources are like the only two items that we will always need in every seed. Everything
yeah,
else is negotiable. You can either need glitching items or a combination of like big keys, something like that.
Yeah. In fact, it's really early to be saying this, but we are potentially not very far from Go Mode.
Yeah, no fire. That's really the big
Yeah.
thing, and not enough info on prizes yet.
Yeah, Fire Red is definitely the one thing we would like to see before we can say start talking about Go Mode for real. But we have some bottles, we have a hook shot, although we don't have good items to hook push with yet. It's definitely looking like we might have a lot to do in this seed, and could open up real quick.
Yeah, so Red did what's called offset mirror portal to access the Pyramid Fairy location, and now is turning it into a castle play after that. But I am curious how long he's going to put off the South Shore play, because there are very few seeds where that will go unchecked, and we know the hook shot is there. Okay, Cave State Big Key in the escape area, as is typical.
And we did already have one, but still helps.
Yeah, I'm just being salty for those that don't know. The Cave State Big Keys, one of them is the one from the Ball and Chain Guard, and then there are other ones, the Pod, TT, and GT. And for whatever reason, in a lot of seas, they like to hang out around the castle, so it's kind of like you have to come here anyway, but... Oh, the lamp in the map chest of Hyrule Castle. Huge.
The lamp is very nice. Although, he's kind of the wrong person to have it, being that he doesn't have the hook shot yet. Definitely hope that he gets that soon.
We'll see. I mean, it is... Either way, you can't, you know... It's like having a fire source.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, if it was the dot playing, where we would be seeing some cloud conveyors already, probably.
Yeah, maybe.
So one of the reasons we like the lamp is not for its intended purpose. It's one of the items, and actually the best item, we can use to manipulate a value called the search index, and that can be used for a number of glitches, such as overworld conveyors or pushing, which basically, in layman's terms, is flying through walls and, basically skipping things that we're supposed to have to beat the game, to beat the dungeons.
Yeah, manipulating the search index is the first step in something we generally call misslotting. It's a very complicated topic and difficult to properly explain, but we use misslotting to hook push, and hook pushing is really the main use of it, and by manipulating how the hookshot reads memory, we can do some very wacky things with it.
Green Pendant Ice Palace and Swamp Small and Castle Tower may be relevant. That's one of the better keys to find. Oh, a bow and Saha
That bow
as
is
well.
really nice.
Also another one of those items that helps with misslotting, not for changing values in and of itself, but it just putting more items on screen can help with misslotting.
Yeah, bow is a great combination glitching and beating the game item. So it's a really nice find.
Yeah, I think certain bosses like Vitreous and Armos Knights are rather obnoxious without having a bow.
Yeah, definitely.
Alright, so
Yeah.
Red's going to get the hook shot, and Brett is almost certainly going to get the lamp unless
Ooh,
he
this
just
might not
skips
be
out on the
good.
castle.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
looks
yeah,
like he's
he's
about to
not going in.
YBA.
uh, well,
Yes, he would really like the lamp. There's ways around doing things with the lamp, but I'm sure he would rather have it than not.
oh yes. I mean,
Those are
everything's
Red's
negotiable, but
potions.
you want to have the lamp.
Yeah, definitely. Um, Red does not have the most versatile book pushing tools as of right now. It's kind of just the ice rod. If he gets that bow, then he's really gonna kind of be unleashed upon the world. But for now, he doesn't have tons of things that he can do with it.
I just want to also point out, 20 minutes into the seed, it was our first save and quit to Link's house,
Yeah, no,
which seems a little bit odd to me, and so
I
neither of them had the desert map in desert because of that.
yeah, that was one of the latest reveals of the Link's House item I've ever seen.
Yeah, outside of like cross keys, probably, yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, since we're kind of glossing over some of this stuff, for those that aren't aware, RedKitsune used a glitch called YBA, or Yuzuhara's Bottle Adventure, to get into Thieves Town from the Uncle Passage. So drinking a potion on the same frame as you walk through a door has a lot of effects. It'd be usually what we use it for is to transport ourselves to a different place on the map.
Yeah, there's a lot of technical. Oh my goodness. There's a lot of technical stuff that goes on with YBAs, but the important thing to know is that we usually use it for kind of skipping over tiles in the underworld, or like jumping tiles, and we use them to navigate between dungeons frequently, or to get past barriers within dungeons. And this is one that we see a lot, where we go from the Uncle Passage to Thieves Town, and we are in Thieves Town in what we call Cave State, where we essentially we have as many keys as we want. We're treated once we have one of a certain set of big keys. We're treated as if we have a big key in Cave State. But yeah,
Yeah, that's correct. I just want to say that so the fire rod was in the waterfall, in case
yes,
anyone missed that. That's
Red
very good
Kitsune
items.
is really, really rapidly approaching not just go mode, but like a fairly comfortable go mode. It depends on a number of things. There are some dungeons that can prove very difficult. One of the big ones, or the two big ones, are Mire and Swamp. Mire will really depend on the dungeon or the medallion to get into the dungeon. And Swamp is just kind of always a pain if you don't have the flippers. So those being a pendant would be really nice. We do have ways to get around needing those items, but it tends a lot of the time to be slower to try to get around those items than to just find better tools.
It depends on the seed. That's one of those calls you just have to decide on the spur of the moment as a
Yeah, that's true.
runner.
We
Oh,
do see
Crystal
Red
for
Kitsune
Thieves Town.
learning. Yeah,
Sorry.
Crystal Thieves is nice. We see Red Kitsune loading up on potions, so he's probably grouping to start doing some dungeons, because he's falling behind right now on the crystal count.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's like, I don't think Red Kitsune is doing anything bad or wrong or making like mistakes, but it looks like he's falling behind, but he has the fire odds, so he may actually be ahead in the
Yeah,
long
he's just
term.
been clearing more things. He did escape. He did the Pyramid Fairy play and some other things. And one of the dungeons that RedKitsune has done is Hera, yeah, which Red will do at any point now that he has the hook shoot.
Yeah, Hera's a pretty quick one once you have like
There's
at
our
least
map.
Master Sword or above.
We just got the desert, but that is a crystal. That's another easy crystal to get. We're kind of looking pretty lucky with our crystals out here as well, in terms of doing them quickly.
So far, yeah.
Yeah, so far.
We'll see. So Red has the bow now, and honestly, I wonder if he doesn't know it, but Is that I forgot what it's called, but you know the sword beam with the boomerang stuck push you can do to get to the boss from the front room. I
Yeah,
wonder
yeah,
if he knows that one.
he could have just cleared Eastern, just going straight to the boss and not doing any of the items. It could be that he doesn't know how to do that hook push. It is a pretty advanced hook push. It could also just be that he wants to find items, like even just a sword, more health, and then of course things like medallion, flippers, cane of Samaria, another useful glitching item. It may just be that, 24 minutes into the seed, he's not quite prepared to do some hard grim rooting.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah, I don't disagree. I wouldn't blame him for that, but I don't know. Maybe it's just the way I'm thinking. So because I've gotten pretty comfortable. Well, see, this is an option too. He is
yeah.
skipping one of the items if he does this hook push. This is interesting. So I'm assuming he doesn't
Yeah.
know the other one if he's doing this one.
Oh,
Oh,
a
that's
little slow
unfortunate.
there on the release.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
yeah,
think he didn't have both lamp flames on screen at the same
I think
time?
so.
Yeah,
Yep,
that's an
that
easy
hook
way
push
to.
was
Sorry, go ahead.
hopefully, ideally, going to take him beyond the big key door, which at the moment, the big key door is the only barrier to him beating this dungeon. So if he can hook push past that, then it's just a beatable dungeon right now. That's another crystal for Brad.
Yeah,
He's
this is a really
really
fast pace. So
murdering through
if
them.
he finds a fire rod somewhere along the way, this could be a really, really incredible time.
Yeah,
But I was just
missing
gonna
out on
say,
this lamp and fire rod both. Kind of hurting right now if he doesn't find a way to either find the other fire rod or make his way back to one of those tracks.
I just wanted to finish my thought about Easter, and my thought, even though it is early, what I like to do in that situation is I'll do the boss first, and then if the boss has a helpful item, then I'll just leave. If the boss doesn't, then I'll like reevaluate if I want to check things inside the dungeon, just because like it's so powerful to be able to skip from the first room to the last room, and you don't really lose time for doing so. But it's unfortunate that he ran out of magic and was not able to reattempt that hook push. So looks like he's
Mm.
gonna stock up on resources at the upgrade ferry.
Yeah, this looked a little silly. He bought the bombs in the shop, but he needed the bombs to fake flipper using this method to get to the upgrade variant.
Oh, he was out of
We've
bombs as well.
Yeah, he was
That's
really
right.
low on resources. But we really like visiting this upgrade ferry because, I mean, this is one of the main reasons, is because hook pushing can take a lot of resources, particularly bombs. So this is one of the two places where we spend all our money.
Sorry, I was just wondering, I don't know how long ago this was, but I want to respond to something in chat. Someone says the pearl question mark. That is it's a luxury item. It can cut down on your load for glitching items, but that item is never required. It can be, a nice quality of life, but never required though.
Especially right now with the items we have with two bottles. The pearl is like it will speed up anything that we want to do in the dark world like pretty significantly, but it's not going to enable either of them to do anything new. I mean, that depends on their comfort level with glitches. It may be that doing some things as a bunny or doing some things with fake looting is not something that they want to do, but I mean, they have all the tools they need right now to get around. Pearl is definitely, if you're going to look for an item first Grim Mode, Pearl is one of the ones you want to have, but it doesn't get us closer to Grim Mode if we find it. Yeah, man, RedKitsune went really hard on those upgrades. He's expecting to do a lot of hook push.
Yeah, I just saw that 30 bombs. Even though you said we like to go to the ferry, I actually rarely go to the ferry. Gotten really good at like managing the resources, but that could be because I've been doing a lot of vanilla like glitch speedruns in the past. But I mean, sometimes I'll go there, sometimes I don't. And another thing about that ferry is that it wrecks your altitude variable, which can be really annoying for bomb clipping, but Yeah, I don't know, sometimes I go there, sometimes I don't. It just depends on the seed.
Mhm. It's definitely comfy, but not necessary to have all these upgrades.
Yeah, 30
We see,
bombs is getting prepped. Like,
yeah, we see breadkun in Pod. He came here in cave state, similar to what he did with Thieves Town, but the method that he used to get here wrapped him on the overworld map such that he has despawned all of the sprites, which means that it's a very sort of chill, empty Palace of Darkness. And we also saw a map check. We saw that we got Total Rock as a crystal, in addition to Palace of Darkness. So I think
well,
we know 5 crystals, I believe.
yeah, so Ice, Swamp, and Skullwoods, and Eastern are unknown. It
Ice
looks
is the
like.
green pendant
Or sorry,
because,
no, I misspoke. I meant to say
yeah,
Swamp, I think. I don't know. I
yes.
didn't say what I was thinking, whatever the case was.
Yeah, between them, there is 4 unknown dungeons.
Yeah, so Eastern, Swamp, Skullwoods, and Mire. Also, the bread did find a sword in the Dark Maze, and Tempered is a huge quality of life. Makes all the bosses, like,
Oh
way
yeah,
comfier.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Although it doesn't look like he found much else, which is kind of a shame.
Well, the powder is
Powder is
it's
nice. That's, yeah,
better indexing than the mushroom, because you can
that is true.
check
Yes,
lady.
yeah.
The mushroom could be another fire rod for all we know.
That's true. And there's the same sword for RedKitsune, and we see Bread doing statue drag, which is just the sort of the easiest way to get to Helmasaur. Doesn't really require any items. He used the mirror to speed it up, but the mirror is not necessary.
For those that have never seen this before, or you don't know how it works, basically using the statue pulling animation, we can bypass the transition on the front door without triggering it, and this, with some careful camera manipulation, this lets us walk south on the underworld map until we get into the boss's room. That's what was going on there.
Yeah, that's sort of a combination of a few different things going on, but we're just manipulating transitions such that we end up in Helmasaur's room.
But yeah, getting the pod in Thieves Town, I think we always want to see as crystals in No Logic. The two of the ones that are not too difficult to do usually.
Yeah, they're easy dungeons to do. They tend to give us a pretty good chunk of items, not just like in Thieves Town is a bit slower for how many items you get, but it gives us access to Village of Outcasts as well, which is difficult to do without the pearl. And Pawn, of course, has so many items inside that we want to go there regardless of whether we're beating the dungeon.
I
We
like
are,
this routing from Bread, like waiting till. Well, I guess it doesn't matter as much because we have the mirror, but we'll see if he goes to Hookshot Cave or not after this. But like doing the bow
yeah,
side with the bow, I mean, if you don't have the bow, then and you can't hover, then you kind of have to do this beforehand.
yeah.
But if or just skip it.
We'll see if he does the Duke, or maybe he'll just do Total Power. We have a number of different glitches we can do inside of this dungeon that will end up with us going to Hookshot Cave, as we mentioned earlier. And since we have the hookshot, we have a number of checks we can do there, especially because we can chain it into Ganon's Tower, usually from Hookshot Cave.
Yeah, and I think the bomb juke is the right call in this case, because the problem with Turtle Power is that you would have to go back to the front to set it up, and if you didn't already get the chests on the right side, you have to skip the ledge because of the way the
Yeah,
transitions are broken, so
yeah. Total Power is kind of easier, but it requires a sword and tends to either be slower or involve skipping the bridge chest. The Duke is a little frustrating to learn, but once you know how to do it, it's usually the best option.
Now, the thing that frustrates me about the juke is that, not the juke itself, but like like I had taken quite a lengthy break from the game before I started playing again, and I forgot the movement that you have to do afterwards. It's not
Mm,
like difficult, but it's very specific. So after you
yeah,
hop down, if you press any direction other than up, it's a soft lock, and that is very frustrating to take time losses like that just because you forgot a tiny little thing. But
yeah.
it's so many little intricate steps you have to remember for a lot of these glitches. There's the hook push from Red.
Yeah. First try, very easy. We skip the door, we go straight to the back. Meanwhile, Red in Hookshot Cave. See if we find some useful items here. The main outstanding glitch item right now is the Cane of Samaria. That's an item that really gives us so many options in terms of doing glitches.
Oh yeah, any seed without that does not feel. It feels like your toolkit is never complete without it.
Mhm.
I mean, you don't need it per se, but it offers a lot of interesting solutions and unique solutions in a lot of cases. And
Yeah,
it enhances solutions you already have, like hook pushing.
and very frequently just quicker solutions. Small trouble with Armos, but we have plenty of arrows to spare. That is a wrong cane, but another crystal. I
Yeah,
believe we know 6 crystals, which means that only one of Swamp, Skull, and Maya is our remaining crystal. If the last crystal is Skull, RedKitsune is going to be done really quickly.
yeah.
Like absurdly quickly. He's kind of coming back in here looking for items. I wonder if he's going to the front of Maya to check the medallion.
That would be my guess as well.
Yeah, it is
There's the
quite a
index
pain.
setting.
It's quite a pain to go to Maya when you don't have the pearl. There's just no real good option. This is kind of one of the best ways. Usually the problem with it is getting to Eastern Pass, but we're obviously already here.
Well, I could debate with you about other ways, but I want to point
Yeah.
something out. I hope he exits. Well, he's not exiting, but well, he was thinking about it. So to whoever asked about the Moon Pearl earlier, so he's on the
Wow.
screen, like in the overworld, and it happens to be Ether, which is very, very fortunate. But so the reason why he's not a bunny right now is because we never did a world transition. Like there was no portal or anything like that because we traveled through the underworld to get here. Same as what Brett did earlier with Thieves Town. The game doesn't know we're in the Dark World, so we're not technically in the Dark World. It's the fake Dark World. So the game didn't check to see if we have the Moon Pearl. So that's one of the reasons why the Moon Pearl, it's a fairly powerful item, but it's not as powerful as you might think. So just a good
Yeah,
example of that.
we saw this earlier when we did Thieves Town from breadkun. He came outside Thieves Town as Link. This is behavior that's patched normally in Rando, where if you exited onto a Dark World screen, the game would change your world to be the Dark World. But that's a vanilla behavior that we still have in Glitch Randomizer. This is a crystal, actually. We have this map, and this is our last crystal. And yeah, luckily for Red, he has one medallion, but it was the right one. And I don't believe he knows about... No, I think he just knows all the crystals at this point. He might not know Desert.
Red did beat Hera, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, you're right.
Actually.
And this is going to be a quick dungeon for RedKitsune, who pushing kind of souls. Or hovering, he's just going to hover. At this hover, it's actually not to go to the back, but he wants to go back up to the ledge to do a hook push on the left side of the room. Yeah, hook pushing solves the problem of not having the big key or the cane in this dungeon. You may have to do 2 hook pushes, but it's not a big deal. He has so many resources.
Oh yeah, he would have had to do two hook pushes regardless of which two, but
yeah, that's true. Yeah, breadkun at GD, it's not likely that he finds much of use here. There's 1 fire rod outstanding. You could find the cane. I mean, he kind of really needs to find a fire rod soon, or else RedKitsune is just going to beat dungeons. He knows every crystal. He has a pushing. He has 2 rods and tempest.
Oh, this is a tight setup. Like the inputs,
Yeah,
you have to be really fast. I know
Yeah.
I've seen him do this before, but I like to have a little more space between like what I'm hook shotting for this. It's certainly doable, but you gotta
doing
be
it in
really
that tight
quick.
space is difficult because you need to do the second hook shot before the first one connects, which he does successfully. Credit to him. Yeah, he hook pushes up here to the back of the dungeon, and he's still gonna have to hook push past the door, but that's pretty simple.
I was being so impressed with that small space stuck push that I didn't see what Bread got in Rando Room.
Yeah, no, it was a very impressive hook push. Bread has not found much. He found Quake. That's kind of it.
Yeah, as you said, the fire rod is the best thing you could find here. Not even wanting to do the... Or no, he already did.
Yeah, he came from Hookshot Cave, so Ice almost already dead.
Yeah, I realized that.
Yeah, no,
it's a little bit early in the morning in my part of the world, so you'll have to bear with me.
Yeah, it's very easy to get to GT from either side, so it can be confusing. Oh wow, the flute is here. And the mitts. Wait, he had a glove. I guess he found a glove. My bad. Those are kind of helpful. Like, they're not useless items, but they don't really help him beat the dungeons. They just kind of help him get there quicker.
Well, if ice weren't a pendant, the hammer glove combo is a huge, like...
Yes.
Like, relief. I mean, it's not like we can't bypass that, but it's just nice to be able to do the dungeon like vanilla and not worry about any glitches.
Mm-hmm. We saw another Duke from breadkun to get to the pyramid. Where's his map check? He does not have as many maps as RedKitsune did, but he does see that Todorok is a crystal, and that he will need the fire rod.
Well, and he's at the castle, which has one of the things he needs.
He's likely to get the lamp soon, which is good for him. But he's gonna really need to hurry up to find one of the fire rods.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that the lamp was here and not the fire rod for him, even though we always love seeing the lamp. Like, the lamp is not gonna fight Trinex for you.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's just one of the things that we can't do is get around needing the rods for Trinex. And he doesn't go into escape. Oh no.
That's an I'll have to ask him what he was thinking. Like, I mean, it's no logic, so it's not like your choices are like indefensible. But I mean, what do you think when you check Castle Tower but not the castle itself? I mean, that's interesting.
He's kind of slow, but I'm curious to see where he goes next. That he's doing, in favor of escape.
My flute makes sense.
So push from right to get the land mirror.
Yeah, nice having the bow to get that enemy out of the way.
Yeah, definitely.
That guy is really aggressive.
Yeah. Still gonna get a magic bat check from Bread.
Well, big key to Eastern is,
Yeah, it's not bad.
it saves. Yeah, I mean, it definitely saves time for him because he's not. Well, I don't know. It depends if he wants to set up a hook push or not, which is, not like free, like because he doesn't have the lamp.
Yeah, I'm not sure how familiar he is with lampless hook pushing. It is definitely possible to do lampless hook pushing with the items that he has. But it's much more of a chore.
Yeah, you have to set it up beforehand, and then you only get one shot to execute it
Yeah, there's
without
more
having to go
complicated
to like a
versions.
number. Yeah, I mean, it depends on what setups, like certain, but you have to be on certain specific, like, screens in the game to be able to do that setup.
Yeah. If you're not like if you haven't done your full graduate course of pushing, it's difficult to sort of take the more complicated hook pushing and use it anywhere. You kind of need to know setups. RedKitsune did not take the opportunity of being in desert to unlock the attic, which he could have done, which would have sped him up significantly, but he will be fine. He has a very commanding lead. It's pretty much his race to lose at this point.
That was a fast juke by Brett. I, like, totally missed it.
Yeah. No, he has been juking well. He did the juke in pod and back of escape as well. And yeah,
Oh,
we're
the
kind of seeing...
interesting thing about, sorry, just thinking, the interesting thing about breadkun's loadout is that since he has powder, silver arrows actually would be like as powerful as getting the lamp for him because there's this specific setup that's really easy to do with silver arrows and powder and bombs.
Yeah, he sort of has I guess the least good setup in terms of Omega powder hook pushing, which is the ice rod, which is a temperamental item, I guess. It's doable to hook push with the ice rod, but definitely silver's a kind of a comfy, easy version. And we see Red just skipping everything in this dungeon. He's completely in go mode.
Yeah, I suppose that sword in pod was actually maybe kind of bad for Bread because the Bread happened to go there as well. Like that's one less thing he's like tempted to open boxes for.
Yeah.
The key to desert after both people already did desert is always amusing.
Yeah, that would have been a pretty useful key to have if we had it early, but it's a bit beyond being useful at this point.
Yeah. No, he did open the attic chest, Red did. Some chests are very difficult to skip.
Yeah, I mean it's especially chests like that. You're so used to just opening them because they're there.
I think especially maybe for someone like Red who like doesn't have any like AD or NMG like muscle memory of like dashing out of the room without opening it. Like he probably opens that chest every single time he goes in the room.
Yeah, he may also open the... I don't know if he already opened this chest or not, but if it's closed, he might open. Okay, it's already open. But yeah. There's Eastern for bread. He still does have a lot of dungeons, but he just isn't going to be able to do Turtle Rock, which is the real problem. And Mire as well is difficult. It's possible, but difficult with what he has right now.
Well, at least he can open it. I mean, that's
true.
yeah. I mean, because he has the mirror and 2 bottles, he doesn't have to do any like weird hook pushing setups like without the lamp.
Yeah, that is true. He also doesn't know that Mire is the last crystal, I believe. So he may go to Skullwoods first to try to beat that.
Yeah, which is it's kind of a trap. I mean, I do that a lot just because it's kind of like if you have. Well, wait. Well, he doesn't have the fire rod, so I don't think he's gonna be tempted to go to Skullwoods though, unless he's looking for items. But we'll see.
Depends on if he thinks he can do the hook push for it.
Yeah, that's true.
He could. There's a number of ways he could do it with a hook push, but I mean, we'll see. He does still have options.
Well, like he had the option to do like a one-time use index for Eastern, and he didn't do that, which makes me think he's not like wanting to gamble on it in a tournament race setting.
Yeah, that's fair.
Because I have talked to him about this just a little bit in the past. I don't remember what it was, but we were talking about like the quote-unquote ledge pog, which is with a name for one of the temporary indexes like that people have coined. Okay, so this is an interesting room to hook push in. A lot of people don't like this room, and for good reason, so we'll see if this works. If so, we're going to be at Laser Bridge. Oh, nice, it worked that time.
Yeah. The thing is, when you're... The method of hook pushing that he did, what happens kind of depends on the Ancilla that's in slot 0. And if that happens to be on a wall, then the hook push won't work, which is one of the main thing that makes it kind of finicky. But he seemed to know to avoid having that happen, and did the hook push successfully.
Oh, I didn't know that was the reason why. I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I don't know why that does, but it makes sense because it explains like why it would fail. Well, this is an interesting hover.
Yeah. No, it's something that I did not know until recently, and I don't think many people knew until recently, but yeah, this is, RedKitsune did win a race in the last tournament by being in go mode because of hovering to Trinex. He does not need to hover. He can hook push. I think he's showing off.
Yeah, he's just having a little bit of fun. But just to finish that last topic, like I had sometimes been able to do the boomerang stuck push like Red did, and sometimes not, but I figured out a way to consistently do it with Samaria, but I was 100% consistent, but I didn't know why the stuck pushing was failing sometimes, so that's really interesting though.
Yeah, I mean, it's also just kind of an... Sorry.
Oh, go ahead, sorry. Well, I was just gonna say, did you see how he went over the pot with his hook shot?
Yeah.
That was
very strange.
I've seen that once in a while, and I don't know why.
Yeah, I mean, this is crystal number 7 at 53 minutes for RedKitsune. He can't... There are a couple of ways that he can get to Agatu, which is a necessary boss to kill in this goal. He's probably... He has the mirror, so he can go out and take the portal back into the Dark World, and then make his way to the middle.
Red knows the front. Oh, well, I mean, I guess he doesn't want to do it.
You need the cane.
Oh, duh.
To do that.
Sorry.
But, yeah, no.
Right.
You would like to just go straight back in and do a quadrant glitch to get to Agatu, but you do need the cane for that. But there is countless ways to make it to Agatu. Even with no Pearl, he's going to be able to mirror clip into Turtle Rock very easily, and either hook push or find another way to lava dive. Meanwhile, breadkun did a fake flute, which is one way that we can get a link state in the Dark World without the Pearl. He has not found anything useful here, unfortunately. looks like he thought about maybe resetting to get his potion back.
You know, I hate to say it. Well, actually, I don't. But the waterfall opener is such a good opener because those checks are just so annoying to do. You might as well just do them. And looks like that's what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, I was about to say, Brent does look like he's on his way to waterfall. By doing the waterfall opening at 54 minutes into the race. These are checks that some people, myself included, do as the very first thing. There's just a number of checks you can get here that are fairly quick and kind of annoying to get back to later on. As we see, Bread just never came back to these checks until now. Oh no, Bread! I've done this so many times, so it's not just him, but he picked up the pot while one of his hook shots was still traveling, so instead of sticking to the pot like he wanted, it picked up the heart.
Yep.
It feels very silly when that happens.
Yeah, just rushing just a little bit too much.
But yeah, he's fine. He can still set it up on one of the other pots in the room.
Oh, of course, yeah.
Yeah, a fun fact about the lava in this dungeon is that it is actually Aghanim. So, if you can find your way to fall into it, then you end up in the Agatu fight.
Bit of a rough pattern there.
Yeah, that was not great. But breadkun does find his fire rod. He's still gonna have to beat Turtle Rock as well as whichever dungeons he beats while hunting for the last crystal. He's still looking for things. He doesn't have a lamp, so his dungeon clearing is still not simple. He may be looking for that. Or for the king.
Even though he, needs the fire rod, he's probably not happy to see it in that location because he knows that this is. Well, he hasn't seen the lamp, but he might have a feeling that this is kind of a stupid jet seed, which it is, as we see RedKitsune approaching Ganon sub 57 minutes.
Yeah, many people will get this either as one of the first few checks they do, or within like the first 15 to 20 minutes, and have it for basically the entire seed, as RedKitsune has done. But yeah, this is crazy, Jet. Many of the seeds so far in the tournament have been a little awful with regards to finding a rod or finding a sword, so it's somewhat refreshing to see, although it would have been nicer if it was a close race.
I mean, that's a randomizer, especially in this mode, I mean...
No, that is randomizer for sure. And it's not that breadkun has done badly, because he was rocketing ahead with his dungeon clears early on. It's just that
Bread has been super fast, yeah.
Yeah, the fire rod eluding him has just kind of been his undoing. He just hasn't had the clearing ability that RedKitsune had.
Yeah, the Bread's execution has been very good. Like, the few mistakes that he has made have been, like, very, very minor and not even worth commenting on. Both runners have had very good execution on this seed.
Yeah, definitely. I wonder where this fake flute will go. It could be that he just wants to get to Skullwoods quickly without bunny clipping.
I am too stingy to do this fake flute for Skullwoods. I'll always just do the citrus, but maybe sometimes I should think about it because it is faster if you don't transition back and forth too many times. That is.
Yeah, the bunny clip it's very annoying if you are not used to doing them, and it's kind of slow, so understandable to see a fake flute.
100 rupees or whatever it costs.
And that was the last spin on Ganon for RedKitsune, so get your GGs in chat.
As a RedKitsune finishing with an official race time, GG time of 59 minutes and 20 seconds. Wow.
Hour. Well, very well done. See if we get him in for an interview. You want bread? I'm not sure what he's taking damage for. Perhaps he just wants to get a save done. He did get, well, he wants to do this to be in fake Dark World, because he did get a link state from the Wallmaster, but he would have turned back into a bunny once he left, so now he's in fake Dark World. He's a Link, despite not having the bubble. Sadly, no bunny pocket to open Skullwoods, but
Having a little bit of a technical difficulty. Getting Red in here, but he should hopefully be in here in a minute. There's something with the bot invites is really strange today. We should be joined by Red shortly here.
yes. Brett has forfeit after this Mothula kill, which is understandable. It's quite late for him, as I understand, so he's probably going to want to head to bed. But KOG's in for him as well. He's put on a great race for us.
Yes, GG to Bread as well. That is some very sharp execution, but just a little bit of bad luck with the way the items, were laid out. So just a little bit of being rando.
Yeah.
GG, Red. We're joined by the winner of this morning's race. Congratulations.
Hi, GG's.
Congratulations. What a finish time. That was such a crazy jet seed.
It could have been much faster, no? I was so worried about Swamp or Mayan Medallion, or I don't know. I was thinking a lot of different things, but I was pretty sure that I was go mode whenever I found Hook Push. That was the bow, I don't remember well.
Yeah, the bow it's a Hostrella, and the hookshot in Mini Long Cave, both quite free. Those were very nice finds early on.
And lamp in the castle.
Yeah, breadkun did not get the lamp from the castle. He also did not get the fire rod early. He only just recently went to the Zora area to get his fire rod, so he's been not in go mode for a very long time.
Yeah, that castle play for finding the lamp. When I was thinking that it maybe give me some advantage, but I don't know. It was one of these seats that was pretty. I don't know. So fast to have a hook push and swords. It was pretty amazing.
Yeah, no, even though you finished so quickly, it must have been You must have been worried about Bread finishing at any moment as well.
Yeah, for sure. Because I mess up the first hook push in Easter Palace, and I have to reroute that. And also I take a lot of time buying bombs, but I didn't want to be again in the situation. I do not have enough, and the seeds looks like I was going to hook push all my way through. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, you made good use of those upgrades.
Yeah, it definitely looks. I mean, it makes sense. Like you just stock up and just try to clear everything all at once. No, it was really fun to watch. And like very early, like less than 15 minutes in, I was saying I think this kind of feels like a jet seed, especially because we were watching like both sides. Like breadkun actually had the hook shot before you, but like didn't quite get all the pieces of the puzzle together. And but yeah, I mean. I understand. I would be worried too if I was playing this seed and I was in your position, but no, you did a really good job. I was even commenting in Mire, how you do that stuck push in the like that tight area in the fishbone room. Like I know why you do it there, it's so you don't get hit by the enemies, but it makes like the
yes,
inputs tighter to get your hook stuck on the rail.
I am used to do it in that place, but having the boomerang, it was a little bit whatever. No, I could do the stack in whatever part of the room, in more or less whatever room, and mostly I was going to find Beatrice.
Yeah.
But it was really good execution overall, though. It was really fun to watch. And congratulations again.
I was a little bit worried, of course, but given that the seed didn't have Pearl, I was thinking that it is pretty possible that any of us may make a mistake, and situation that you don't have Pearl, you don't have glove, even though I see now that the Brett could find did find the gloves. But it was a situation that if you were not able for whatever reason get to the boss, it will take some time to get back.
Yep, definitely. No, you were somewhat fortunate to have the. You did miss the gloves. You also missed 2 medallions, but you didn't need. You had the one that you needed, so.
Yeah, I was a little bit worried, but whenever I got to the entrance of Mayer, I was thinking I don't want to I don't want to look for a medallion in Mayer, or at least not yet. So let's hope it's one over three of the possibilities that they have. And I was pretty happy, not both, o sea, not only for being the Ether medallion, but also for being a crystal.
Yes, that's true as well.
88 collection. I haven't seen a collection that low on one of my seeds in a long time. That's very low.
Crazy low. But yeah, that's congratulations. Do you have an idea of when game 2 will be?
So we are a little bit far away on the world, so maybe we have to do it async, but if not, it should have to be the next weekend, like Friday, Saturday, or Monday, or Sunday.
Yeah, this was quite a late race for Bread, so
For
shout
me,
out to him
for me, it is quite early.
Yeah, early for you as well, so it's always tough when you have these races. But yeah, congratulations. Any last thoughts on the race?
No, GG's.
Alrighty, well, that might do us then for this race. Unless you have any last questions, JD?
No questions. I think that will do it. Thank GG to Bread, who played very well as well. GG, congrats to Red. Thank you very much for tracking and calming. Tam, I really appreciate especially the tracking. Although I like talking to you as well, but tracking is a little bit challenging. So thanks for that. Thanks to I'm sorry if I forgot your name. Diego, I think, was the one who helped us set up. Yeah, Diego Lazo, thank you very much for helping set up. And thanks to SpeedGaming for hosting this. And my name is JD Silvergun, and thanks for watching. Have a good morning, good day, good night.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everyone.